Hey everyone, this is TekTox coming at y'all with this week's episode of we're going to be going over the Steam Deck. While we don't have concrete
Ouch.
data on it, we're going off of what we do know and speculations on it, and then comparisons of what we believe we know versus other stuff that's already out. I'm Redneck Alcatraz, and with us today is also going to be the one, the crazy Dude PDR, as well as Apocalyptic, Kinku Ghost over there in the corner, and Voth, who is only somewhat coherent at the moment because apparently he woke up recently and is trying to ingest some caffeine in order to be sociable. He hasn't had
of course, Dick McGoblins.
Yep, he hasn't had his morning gallon of coffee yet.
32 ounces.
I'm about a pint in.
Only a pint.
Yeah, I
Nowhere
keep
near
stressing to you guys
Right.
that this guy blood is made of coffee. It straight up is, man. So only
And
a pint
nicotine.
in. I'm a little worried about him because he hasn't had more yet already.
Hey, isn't that the way to live? If your blood isn't made of either alcohol or coffee, then are you even living?
Well, it'd be caffeine, right?
Yes.
Well, yeah, caffeine or alcohol.
Yeah.
Mine's both.
According to a bunch of guys I know that have been in the military, it's caffeine and alcohol of some variant.
Yeah. Yeah.
The mixture
My dad is
varies.
Caffeinic alcohol.
The alcaffeine.
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 There we go.
Caffeine.
Alcohol.
I'm gonna go ahead and copyright that, trademark that statement.
Alcaffeine.
Alcaffeine. Nobody else can have it. If you use it, you owe me money.
Oh, us money. It
Yeah,
now
yeah.
is property of TekTox.
Communism was.
It belongs to us now. All your bases belong to us.
So
Whoops.
the
So,
the
yeah,
Switch. The
dude.
Switch.
yeah, dude, kick us off with what we think we
Alright.
know about the specs of it.
Oh, on the Valve.
Well,
The-
say
the
we
Stream
know
Deck?
about the Switch.
Okay. Well, first off, the specs on the Steam Deck, you got your AMD Zen 2 CPU, so it's a 3000 series esque CPU, 4-core 8-thread. So it's like a Ryzen 3 sort of. 2.4 to 3.5 gigahertz, and then it's got a GPU built into an AMD RDNA 2 a GPU. So that's is that your new Radeons, or is that the newest Vegas? I can't really remember. Either way, it's got some pretty good hardware under the hood. It's gonna have 16 gigabytes of LPDDR5. 550 MT quad channel. It is quad channel RAM, so it's probably going to have really good performance where computing and memory and load speeds and stuff is concerned. So that's not going to be an issue. It's got a 40 watt hour battery. So under load, that's probably around 10 to 12 hours. Like if you're playing for like 10 to 12 hours straight, then you probably drain the battery all the way down. It's got a 2 mic array, so it'll, you'd have maybe kind of like stereo audio coming through. You know, it's Bluetooth enabled, so you can hook up like earbuds and Bluetooth headphones and stuff to it. And probably one of the more significant features is how much it weighs, because it is a handheld. You're holding it up this whole time. It's only it's about a pound and a half. It's 1.47 pounds, 669 grams, if that helps you Europeans out. Thermals, though, let me show you these thermal images here. I'll put them up on the screen.
I mean, a pound and a half
this
is
is-
basically just a mug of water, pretty much.
Right. This is after, I believe it's 15 or 20 minutes of gameplay of Doom Eternal on high settings, not the tip-top settings, but on high settings.
By the way,
15,
we
20
sourced
minutes
this
of
from
gameplay.
the thermals are sourced from a Linus Tech Tips video.
Exactly. Yeah.
Somehow
he
they
did a
let him
blur
in
imaging
there
of
with a
it.
thermal camera.
Well, he got to bring a whole bunch of different stuff, and they allowed him to like really just go through everything he possibly could on it.
There's a lot of stuff they didn't let him use though.
An important thing to note, though, is this is a test.
This is a test model that all this
A test model.
all
yes.
this info, all these pictures, these are all sourced off a test model that
Right.
It's not the
some people got
final
Oh,
access
your
to.
basic specs here. These right here are all like the legitimate base specs that's going to be available in all three models.
Yes, but your thermals will
the
probably
stuff that we're
change.
going to go over and everything. Yeah, like your thermals, your actual performance and stuff, your FPS, all that is going to change from what we go over to what the final release is definitely going to be. At least I would hope it would change because.
As someone who's
We'll talk
tested a
about
few
that. We'll
things
talk about
before and been involved in the development of a few things, not hardware like this, but on the software side, the test bed versus the final are never the same. Never the
Right.
same. If they are,
But as you see,
it's only because your test bed was pretty much already your final result. You're just making sure, all right, if we run this thing at full spec, does it break? No? Okay, we're good.
these thermal images, as you can see, the handles, even though this one here is obviously closer to a hotter source of heat, it's still got the same thermal spec as this one over here, if not maybe just a little tiny bit warmer by like maybe a degree and a half. But either way, you're not going to get super sweaty palms playing this for a real long time.
Well, not
Then
from the
you
heat.
look down here on the back side. Yeah. Not from
Just
the heat.
from-
Unless you're
just-
just
just
prone
from
to sweaty
gameplay.
palms, but yeah.
Oh,
Unless
yeah,
you're just
yeah.
being a sweaty tryhard, then.
I mean, well,
But you
that's
look
its own
here,
thing.
and you see how most of the heat is relegated to the what would be the right hand side, and you flip it over, and again to the right hand side of it, you got your vent here for your cooling, pushing your air through. Or no, that's the intake, I believe.
That's the
It was
intake.
the,
Yep,
it was the
that's
intake.
the intake.
And then the vent, I believe, is up at the top here.
Yeah, the vent on the
Between the mics, there's a
the
mic
little-
here and a mic
Well,
here.
no, the mics are facing. If I remember correctly, are facing you around the top of the screen.
Yeah, right here.
The vent is literally
and right
straight
here.
out the top.
Oh, you can't see my mouse. I forgot. I
Yeah,
turned off.
the vent
mouse.
literally like if you turn the screen part is the front. If you turn it on its edge, the top is
Yeah.
where the vent pushes
Right
it
here.
out away from you.
And right here is where the mics are. Right over here. Right over here. But yeah, you see up here across top, that's where the exhaust is pushing out and away. This is the intake. This right here, more than likely, is where your CPU, GPU is, and where your all that, and then your RAM and battery are gonna be over here.
Now,
And,
I will state again, this is speculation because we don't have any schematics and nobody's been able to get one and crack it open and tear it apart.
Right. And then further down, you'll see right here, you got your battery specs right there. You see
Oh.
everything you need to know right here. Leave that on the screen for a couple seconds. If you want to derive any information from that, you can. All right. So, with the Steam Deck, it does have some pretty nice hardware that you all right there?
Well, I was about to say or trying to squeeze in is that you literally had Wolf and I covered the entire time when you were making that presentation. So I'm
Well,
like,
yeah. I mean, I was trying to like.
I mean,
was
Wolf's not awake
moving it around
anyway.
at first, yeah, but yeah.
I was like, I was about to like peer over because I could see this side of my screen a little bit. So I was gonna go like.
But not like so yeah, it's got some pretty decent specs on it. Now as for like the differences between the different models, apart from storage and like the glass on the most expensive one, there's not really much gonna be any really difference between it at all. Your 2 mic array, your Bluetooth enabled, all your internal hardware is going to be exactly the same across all 3 models. You can still, though, no matter which one you can get expandable storage via a micro SD that the slot is in the bottom of it. So you're holding it up here and it's in the bottom on the right hand side. You will be able to expand your memory that way. Won't be as fast as the internal SSDs for the mid tier and the high tier model, but still it'll expand your storage. Whether or not they are going to come out with different models with maybe more or different internal stuff, don't know that. Haven't seen anything anywhere on it.
It's
yet,
probably
so
too early for variant models.
Now they're probably just going to release this one, see how well it does, have their team developing and taking in input and stuff, constructive criticism from probably mostly just like people with a lot of influence on the market, but still.
And people who have tech knowledge and industry experience.
Folks like Linus Tech Tips or Adam Savage.
Now, one thing that would be of interest is if they open it up for, since essentially it is a mini PC. It's essentially a handheld mini PC. The question that kind of I'm curious about is because it's using like laptop grade parts and such. Are they gonna make it kind of so you can like replace parts? Like if you need to replace the hard drive, could you? Can you crack it open, replace parts as needed to upgrade it, or is it gonna be like a closed system where you can't do anything to it? Anything goes wrong, you got to send it off to Steam to get fixed.
I'd imagine not.
I'd say
I don't think
if they follow standard industry, probably not. But because this is the thing, I honestly don't know. It's because it's different. It's a hybrid system because it's a handheld system, but it's a mini computer that uses laptop grade hardware.
See, what I think that's going to happen is that they're going to probably go show forward with, certain different types. Like, they'll be like, this is going to be the first one. Can't do anything with it. All right, they're going to release another one, and another one, another one. And until someone in the audience or the whole mass of, the mass of people say something about it, they'll be like, why can't we just customize it to like it as for a computer? And people are going to get on that train, and eventually they'll probably end up doing what you're thinking. And it would be a good idea, but it would be a little tricky to pull off, I think.
Probably.
I don't think they'll do it straight away.
I have up on screen here a little bit more about the speed feeds, as they say, on the Steam Deck website. Right here, you can see basically the specs that I gave you before.
Right some
here,
extra stuff.
A little bit of extra stuff that may not mean much to you if you're not concerned about that. But here are the storage differences that I was talking about.
Yeah, 64 to a 256 to a 512 is the escalating numbers.
And the price goes up basically 100 each time.
Dude,
it's about 130.
Well, English
now,
to 110 by English money.
Yeah.
The
English pound versus American dollar.
Interesting thing here that they point out that all models use the socket 2230 M.2 modules. So you could possibly void your entire warranty, open this thing up, and replace it with maybe like a 1 terabyte M.2 that is.
And see, that was a thought I had. If you could just
for
well, the first thing you have to do is clone your existing drive over to copy all the OS and all that, because it doesn't use a Windows OS. It doesn't use an Apple OS. It uses a Linux-based OS.
I'm pretty sure. I think the OS, everything else isn't on that storage device. It's on an internal storage device.
It's
like
possible.
Like one built into the chip rather than on the. I don't know.
I don't know either. But I'm just saying, me personally, I would clone the drive and then drop in like that 1 terabyte and just
Exactly.
roll
Yeah,
from
I mean,
there.
you would want to do that, anyway, but still.
It worked. If it worked.
Honestly, I don't even think 1 terabyte's they're only 512 gigs. Really?
Yeah.
There's some games out there that's like half of it right there. One game for like half.
Arc.
Yeah.
Well,
like,
I would.
it's
Arc is
insane.
a massive. ass
Now,
game.
I would-
Oh,
Now, the one thing is,
Warzone's
like, we're all
100.
thinking of is that you're downloading the entirety of it to it, but is that how it's actually going to work, or is it going to be a lot of cloud storage?
I think they would benefit a lot from cloud storage, which Linus mentioned in in his video. But the guy had said that he said no comment is I believe what he said.
Yeah, Steam wasn't releasing squat
yeah,
for details.
I don't know if they're going to use any cloud storage yet, but probably. My guess would be probably. It would be a smarter way of doing it, like so that way, you can actually have your whole game library at your fingertips.
The only drawback is
'Cause
that
if
requires
not, then-
internet connection.
I don't
Well,
know.
yeah, and
Oh, Chris
Yeah.
is actually speaking.
I don't know if I missed this, but I think what would be a wise idea is if they had like a cartridge slot, like a Game Boy. That
They have
you
a
could
mini
insert-
SD slot that you can plug stuff in.
They should do the same
Right
with
here.
an SSD slot. 'Cause it's big
See,
enough
that
for
would be if they
That'd be
had like a
nice.
slot along the bottom where you could like right next to the micro SD slot just slide an M.2 up in there.
See, that's kind of like what I said. I think I mentioned this in previous season. Is that
Mhm.
they should make it kind of like not with just why stop at
Previous season. What are you talking about
storage
previous season? You mean the
TekTox.
the hidden footage, the archived pretests. And so this is season 1.
Back when we were still
we don't talk
season
about
0,
that.
when we were trying to figure our shit
yeah.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
season 0. Point being is that at one point I did mention that I think that's eventually what they should try to do is try to make us if they're gonna make a handheld, why stop at storage? Why not go for like graphics card,
Well, see,
RAM,
the thing
that kind of
the
thing.
thing is like even with some gaming laptops that have that are true gaming laptops that have the actual GPU and it's not all it's not an iGPU. The problem with those is getting something in that form factor, which by the way is still kind of large considering
It's decent
What it
size.
has
It's
to
about
do.
like this.
yeah.
Mhm.
Well, let me move this here real quick so everybody can see what this
I mean,
is.
Linus did a side-by-side comparison of the Steam Deck versus like the Switch, and the Steam Deck with handles
Was it
and all
the Switch?
that.
It was something else.
Oh, he also
Uh,
did the.
They did the Switch as well, but it was something else.
Yeah, but he at the end of the video he took a Switch and all but dropped it inside the handles on the Steam Deck.
Yeah, like underneath the
Yeah, if you turn the Steam Deck upside down, you've got the handles and the board.
the handles stick out
It almost fits in between the handles completely.
about like that much.
Yeah, so
But,
that means you've got
speaking of which,
like inch and a half on either side of the Switch as to
up
how much
on
wider
screen
it is.
here,
But
you,
it
you
also
have your game controls
it
and
has
input and all that
handles and not just the whole thing is flat. So it actually has something to hold on to.
stuff. Right. It has 6-axis gyro. It's got your trackpads, haptics, thumbsticks, game controls, all that stuff.
Now
you
I
wanna
will.
see that you can pause the
Now,
screen or capture the screen or
speaking
whatever.
of controls and inputs, I will state the gyro itself is an interesting inclusion because I'm not aware of
Yeah.
handheld gaming prior really functioning, including a gyro from the
You
start.
can use the gyro
And it's
to
fully
actually
yeah.
as a controller portion where you can lean forward and you move your character forward, back, and you can
And
do
you
all
can
that
use
kind of
it
stuff.
in conjunction with like the joysticks or the trackpads.
Sticks, trackpads. Yep.
You can use it in conjunction with all that to get much more precise and efficient
Accurate.
movements.
Yeah.
So instead of like, I
That
went
was
too
the
far.
AN
Oh, I
Neo.
went too far. Oh, I went too
Oh,
far.
yeah,
you compared
Neo.
it to.
Yes.
Neo, yeah. That was it.
So you can actually get close and then just tilt it and right where you need it.
Now, real quick, I do want to look at the screen specs. It is 1280 by 800. That falls within the 720p category, and it's a 7-inch diagonal screen. Now, I was concerned at first
But
that
that's big
that
for
being
handheld.
720. Yeah, exactly. Like, I was looking at it and I was like, that's something, because my phone screen is 6.1 inches diagonal. And if I were to add, just about another inch onto that, that's a good size screen to be looking at. Like, I feel like my phone is a little on the large side myself. But then if I were to have a 7-inch screen in front of me that's got a pixel density, well, it doesn't have the pixel density on there, but what a 1280 by 800 16:10 aspect ratio pixel density would look like.
I mean,
there you have it.
That's pretty much a standard, like, a 16-inch monitor.
Yeah, that's basically the argument about it, like the good and bad. Like, yeah, 7-inch display, like for a handheld device, good. For PC gaming, no.
Probably not.
Well,
I mean, looking at it,
I will say this.
Yeah, it does actually seem to fit a whole lot better because, again, the Switch, which we're not trying to compare this to, but the Switch does have a 1280 by 720. So it is a true 720, and it's a 6.2 inch. And I don't know if you've ever looked at a Switch, but that screen seems just about right as well.
I mean, all it is you're making it a little bit wider, maybe a teeny tiny bit taller, but probably not. But your
it has to be.
resolution
it's 80
is about
pixels
the same.
taller. Yeah.
So, I mean, anyone who used a game on like a 16-inch monitor, that's what you used. So
Come on, people used the game on Game Boys for Christ's sake, dude. Like, I don't think that like if it
Game Boy.
So like
I still have my original somewhere.
What I'm saying is that I don't think, like, the bottom line is screen doesn't really matter.
I mean, people are gonna whine about it's only a 1280 by 800.
You see that?
They're gonna complain about that, but it's like, stop and think of what you're viewing it on.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like what Kinku said, like the screen size doesn't matter. It's like, no, it doesn't. But to some people, like it does, and they will argue about it. Like, oh no, it's basically a mini computer, so I want to play like my PC games, and I can't play it on a 7-inch display. Blah blah blah. It's like,
it's
a
device.
Except you
It's
can.
It's not going to be a 32-inch display, is it?
No.
I mean, you're talking about essentially taking your phone, beefing it up with computer-esque laptop specs, and then just expanding your screen a tiny little bit, and then giving it handles and stuff. You're talking about basically turning your phone into a laptop that is still handheld portable. You got to understand, it's not going to match up to your PC. If you're trying to compare it to your PC, you will be sorely disappointed the entire time. But if you take it with a grain of salt and see exactly what it's meant to be, it's a PC-esque handheld device. Okay, it is supposed to run more like a PC than a console. Okay, understand those words. More like a PC than a console. So it'll actually perform better than a console, not as good as maybe like a true gaming laptop or a PC.
Because it's a
but
hybrid.
It's going to perform better. Exactly.
Now that you mentioned that it's supposed to be a PC thing, I actually thought initially at first that they were gonna just go with PC cloud gaming. Just go with that.
And that also, like, I assume that is going to be the case. Like,
I think it's not going to be true cloud gaming, because one of the things is that requires you to have a constant internet connection.
I feel like we should actually bring up what cloud gaming is too, just in case people get confused.
Well, we'll get to that in just a second. I do want to look at just a little bit more on this specs page here, like the expansion section. Of course, you got your SSD or your micro SD that you can swap out. But another thing is your external connectivity. You can actually connect it, of course, to a display. You can connect a mouse and a keyboard to it, even. You plug in a USB hub. Yeah.
The dock sells.
All those, the dock sells separately.
But you can use any dock
to connect to
that connects.
Exactly.
Yeah. You don't have to buy the official Steam Deck dock. as long as it has a USB-C, hub, it will
Connection, yeah.
work. Yeah, USB-C connection.
So if
yeah.
you're a gamer who likes your mouse and keyboard, or if you're a gamer who likes your controller in your hands, you can actually set this thing up
Weirdo.
to display on your TV or monitor and still have your mouse and keyboard sitting right there in front of you, basically playing through this thing like a capture device. You can still do that. Or if you want to play on the handheld device and use your mouse and keyboard or your controller, you can do that. That's a neat thing that they've added in here. You actually have the ability to play this handheld thing with your choice of mouse and keyboard or controller, or if you just want to use the damn thing itself, you can.
Fun fact about that USB connection, you can actually hook up a monitor to it
Mm-hmm.
and port it all over to a bigger screen if you wanted.
And then,
Or
of
you can
course,
just-
the very final thing on this here that I wanted to point out is the Steam OS. It's Arch based. It's 3.0 KDE Plasma. There.
USB
And then-
port. I found that. I'm like, or you could just plug more USB ports in that.
Yeah,
Right.
well, in Linus's video, that's what he literally did. He said a 5-year-old USB hub, plugged it in, and then plugged in a couple things to it.
There you go. There's a computer.
And it's like, does this work? Plugs it in, plugs in a mouse. Yes, it does.
Now here's where we're gonna take known data from a known system that's similar on the console side, take that, look at its specs, talk about what we know it does, and then speculate on what the specs inside of the Steam Deck are going to do in the
Lots of-
future when they finally release it.
Lots of speculation.
Right. But
Like I said, though,
basically, you have the weight. It's 0.88 pounds, so the Steam Deck is going to be slightly heavier.
Almost
Your
70%
screen,
increase.
we already talked about that. The CPU, GPU is an NVIDIA custom Tegra. Okay, so it's again not as powerful because it's a little bit older.
Yeah, you've
your
got age and
storage-
size.
Right. Yeah. Age and size. 32 gigs of internal storage. Portion was reserved for use by the system. Users can easily expand storage space using micro SDHC or micro SDXC cards, up to 2 terabytes, sold separately, of course.
Duh.
It is Wi-Fi enabled, Bluetooth enabled. You have video output up to 1080p, which, by the way, also you can do up to 1080p on the Steam Deck as well in your output, as long as the monitor is
Can
able to do
handle
that.
it.
Right. Up to 720 built in on the screen. Audio compatibility, compatible with 5.1 channel linear PCM output, output via HDMI connector to TV mode. Speakers, it is a stereo speaker on the console itself. As with the Steam Deck, it is a stereo speaker system on it as well. Power and volume button, Type C, USB, used for charging and other thing like that. Which, by the way, is the way of the fucking future. If you don't have Type C, USB shit, go get you some. Anyway.
Until Type D comes out and replaces Type
He broke
C.
character for a moment. Did
Today's
you hear
sponsor,
that?
not sponsor, is
Already.
your fucking Type C USB shit there. All right. For when you
Say
want
that shit
to
for
actually
Texture.
step into the future. Headphone mic jack, 3.5 millimeter standard. So you got that.
Which the
Game
Steam
card
Deck does
slot.
that as well.
Steam Deck does not have a game card slot because obviously it's not a phone console. Anyway,
It's a half and
it's
half.
got a accelerometer, gyroscope, and brightness sensor in it. The Steam Deck does have the ambient light sensor. It's got the gyroscope. I'm pretty sure the accelerometer is built in there as well. I didn't specifically see that, but that's like a standard thing on shit like that anyways. Operating environment, 41 to 95 degrees Fahrenheit, 20 to 80% humidity. So you don't want to go, you don't want to sit outside in the sun, fucking 90% humidity.
Like Florida Beach.
Yeah, playing this Switch. So, fucking kill it. It's got a oh really? Okay.
The more you know already.
Yeah, lithium-ion battery, 4310
Don't fly with it.
milliamp hour battery. So that's only a 4-hour battery. Never mind. Fuck that. 4.5 to 9 hours. Charging time approximately 3 hours. And then you got some specs for the Switch Lite, which we're not going to get into that, frankly.
No one cares.
Or
about the light.
or the OLED Switch. Well, I mean, I kind of care about the Lite because I'm going to be getting one for my daughter for Christmas. Shouldn't do that. Okay, good.
That's
But,
a separate issue.
Yes.
It's
So
an issue? What?
I've never used a Switch myself outside of like the one in Best Buy that you can goof with, and they had I don't remember which Mario game on it, but yeah, I
Mario
fooled
Kart,
with that for
probably.
like 5 minutes. No, it was. I think it might have been. It might have been. Either way, I was able to use that to. Yes, it was Mario Kart because I was using that to drive around. But yeah, and so I can't really speak to a whole lot of like user interaction with it. I don't know if you guys have messed with the Switch any? Yes, no,
No,
maybe so.
I have.
Never touched the Switch.
I have,
no,
but
No,
only...
no, that's a lie. Once I went to my colleague's place and we played Pokemon. I think it was like EV. I think it was or
Let's Go,
something.
Eevee?
Yeah.
Ah.
Like
No.
maybe like 10 minutes. But apart from that, yeah, never touched the Switch.
Yeah,
That's why I'm getting the Switch Lite for Erin, because she saw Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu in a GameStop. She's like, I want that game, and I was like, well, gotta get you the console for it. So I'm gonna get her console and the game for Christmas.
No, my older brother has a Switch, and yeah, I played my fair share of Breath of the Wild and Smash and all the staples of what Switch should, I guess, have is what he said. So
I've only
The
played.
Nintendo staple.
Yeah,
Mario.
I've only played the Mario
Zelda.
Kart on it, which that one was at a
Yeah.
kind of like a party. So they had the Switch hooked up to the TV, and everybody had the little microcontroller to do stuff with.
oh yeah.
So that aspect was interesting, but actually using the Switch as a handheld unit, no, I haven't done that.
I can't do those controllers, man. Oh my god, if you're
It's
getting
so
that little
small.
thing, like
It's so
They
small.
are. They are. Like, what the fuck?
I'm sitting there
It
going,
feels like a legit toy.
Yeah.
Those cereal box
I'm gonna
toys.
snap this damn thing.
I
It's
gotta
like
run
literally
those,
as big as my
rippers.
thumb. Man. I'm like,
Yeah, I feel
I've
like I'm
seen
gonna
candy
break
bar-
the fucking joystick with my phone.
yeah,
I've seen snack-sized candy bars that were bigger.
yeah.
What was you saying, Chris?
I got a friend who has the custom controllers that are actually controllers. And I played quite a bit of Smash on that, but only when it was docked to a TV.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
He
Yeah.
brings it around everywhere. He loves that thing. He uses
Oh my
it
god,
all
yeah,
the
yeah.
time.
He kind of does. No names will be mentioned here, but yeah, I know who he's talking about.
It's
But
not,
yeah, okay,
it's not a
so-
certain guy that's currently MIA, is it?
No. You,
Okay.
Basically,
I
your
can
Switch
use it.
performs how it's supposed to for what it's made. And if you were around for any length during Season 0, our trial period of this kind of goofiness, we had talked a little bit about like how consoles basically we ranked Xbox, PlayStation, and PC against their ability to do what they're made to do and then go beyond it.
I think the
Uh,
Switch is a step in the
where
right direction.
PC, of course, took first spot.
Yeah.
Then
That was actually, I think, 2 episodes
Xbox kind
ago.
of took second place, and then PlayStation. I'm a PlayStation person, or I used to be, whenever I play console, so I like Sony better. Because they had better games, in my opinion. But anyway,
Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy.
I mean,
Fucking,
they
the-
say you console preference is what you grew up with, and yeah, like I grew up with a PlayStation, so
I didn't grow up with either
I grew
one.
up with nothing.
I grew up with a Nintendo
Computer.
64 and a PS.
well, I mean, I technically grew up with them all. You know, I started off with a GameCube, then went to like a PS2, then an Xbox, and then a PS2 again, and then I went to I didn't really, and then a Wii, and then
The
PC.
first console
But I
The only
had a
console I've
PS2
had was the Game
more.
Boy.
was a Game Boy.
Yep. I still have mine too.
Okay.
Well, if you want to count handheld device, then yeah, obviously Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, and then DS, DS Lite.
And then the first actual console that I had was whenever I had finally grew up, was living on my own. It was a PS3.
First console I
get a
ever messed
PS3
with
till I
was
was, like,
in 64. That was the first one I ever messed with, was in 64.
Now that we've gone through all that, the Steam Deck, of course, everything we've seen on it, all the performance and everything that we've seen on it, in the Linus video, in the Adam Savage video, at least the two that I saw.
They're test models.
Their test model, yeah, I'll preface everything by saying they're test models. They've already been through some torture testing. They're media test models. So basically, they've gone through some shit. Okay, and so don't know if they've been dropped or bustled around in transit or whatever.
Those
but
test
they're
models probably not. The durability
thing
test
is-
versus
and
the
they're not
Q&A is
final
different.
Yeah, but
release.
even though it was only a test model, saying in Linus's video anyway, like the Steam Deck outperformed the AO Neo in most things.
Oh yeah, it definitely did. But now, holding all of that in the back of your head, I think it underperformed, it underwhelmed for the specs that it has. At least everything that I saw. Because in some games Linus was showing, it was struggling to get 20 to 30 FPS, and it was starting to look kind of choppy.
No, that was the Evo.
Yeah, he did another video, didn't he?
No, he did find a performance tracker that was in the settings. Like, he was running Doom Eternal, and it was averaging 59 to 60 FPS.
Right.
The
before
other
he
one
had,
was hitting a 29 to 30. And
Yeah.
you could adjust the settings. He ran on high, then on medium. It performed better on medium than high.
Yeah.
Which is no real surprise there.
Exactly. Now, given its specs, RDNA 2, Zen 2, 16 gigs DDR5, 1500, or 5500, quad channel 32-bit, by the way.
Which is
I
necessary
feel like
when
it
you're
should
running
have done
how it
way
is.
better than
Well, you gotta
29, 30 FPS.
Well, you got to remember, with a lot of that, you're running. Some of that's running chipset, and so that quad channel is being shared with the CPU and with other stuff. So it's kind of like you have to have the quad channel
Mhm.
because that channel space is being shared. It's not a dedicated line like on a full-grown PC or a full-size console that you have dedicated lines. It's shared,
But
so
Again,
you got to
16
step up
gigs.
to match.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And again, holding all of that in mind and knowing that it is just a test piece and it's not the final release and it's not finely tuned and set up for actual consumer use, I expect it all to get better. I expect it all to do so much better. I expect that in games like Phasmophobia, you will be running 60 FPS, absolutely no problems with all your with your volumetric fog and all that shit turned on. If you're gonna play something way more graphically demanding like Resident Evil 3, Resident Evil 2, or Village or whatever, I have every reason to believe that on medium to medium high settings, it's gonna run perfectly, 40 to 60 FPS, no problem. Your cutscenes and stuff are gonna look amazing. That's not gonna be a problem. If you're gonna try and run ultimate settings or tip-top settings on it, you're gonna get baseline bottom of the barrel FPS, but you're gonna
But
have
that's
to
standard
expect
for
that
trying
it's
to
not a
run
PC.
Ultra on a console or on a
Yeah, it's
handheld.
not a PC. It's more like a PC than a console, which is why they're marketing it as a handheld PC gaming device. Because it's going to run more like a PC than it would a console.
Will it run Doom?
Yes.
He did
Yes.
do Doom on basically everything.
He
Because
he
he did
wanted-
another he did like two videos. This and the other one was when he compared it to the WinMax, which if anyone doesn't know, basically looks like it's like a mini laptop.
Yeah.
But then it also has basically the gyros and the buttons and everything. And yeah, if I remember rightly, it outperformed it on Doom Eternal, same settings, but then the Win Max did better on, I think it was Dirt, whatever it's called. The Win Max actually did better on Dirt than it did on the Steam Deck. But I think
Now,
overall it did better on the Steam Deck.
Now, in that video, is that the same day that he had tested it before, or did he get to access another one?
I think it was a different one because by looks of things, he's in his own studio. Where obviously when he went to actual Valve's headquarters for the
they probably gave him a
Neo
pre-release exhibition model. So
yeah, so again, so the one that
better
actually comes out,
performance even then. Okay,
It's,
so I haven't seen that video,
probably,
so I could probably watch that video.
When they do that, it's usually a demo model.
Yeah.
So even those
I said exhibition, I meant demo. Yeah.
It's about the same definition, but those models, they're still not full power market versions. A lot of demos are throttled so that they can be used continuously and extensively.
I posted the link to the video in the general shit.
Sweet, thanks.
Oh, nice. Okay.
This is just my experience. I know not all demos are like this, but some of them are throttled back a little bit and then have locked settings so that you can't essentially burn it out.
Right. And that's probably like the demo model that he got. He's probably got to return that at some point.
Probably.
You know,
most
unless
demos
they're letting
are
him keep it.
loaners.
Although I don't know why you would want to keep a demo model. You know, because aforementioned reasons, it's locked. You know, it's got limits on it.
The demo would still be good if you're going to be tearing it apart, checking out the internals, simply because
and that's
those
exactly
are going to be the
what
same.
those are for. Yeah.
Those are all going to be the same. It's the software
You're
that's
gonna
going to
do
be
everything you
locked.
can for testing, and then you're gonna take it apart and look at it.
Yeah, like this Win Max
You know.
wasn't exactly an old one. It was the 2021 edition, so it's like a brand new one as well. So
Yeah.
top of the range basically compared to a demo version of the Steam Deck.
Yeah, not always a fair comparison, but at least good for getting rough estimates.
But Jordan, you're getting one, right? Which one are you getting?
I am.
Like
Oh,
bottom,
I'm,
mid, top.
big boy one. I'm getting
Oh,
the
I'm
512?
getting the
512.
512. Yeah.
Nice. So it's got the
It's got the edge glass on it.
yeah, it's got
It
the
does.
For the
edge
anti-reflection.
glass.
That's
It comes with an exclusive virtual keyboard theme as well.
ooh,
Yeah.
fancy.
So yeah, it's got the fastest
Fancy.
storage because it's the 512 NVMe,
Yeah.
premium
and-
anti-glare etched glass, exclusive carrying case, exclusive Steam community profile bundle, exclusive virtual keyboard theme. So
Yes.
yeah,
It comes with some nice stuff.
I mean, the main reason why I bought it was basically because of the storage. It's like, well, if it's basically a PC, then obviously the games I'm probably going to play nowadays are obviously higher in the storage range. So I'm going to need more storage to be able to play the game. So I didn't care about the keyboard, the profile, the anti-glare.
your demographics for
but
these
it was basically the
purchases
storage.
are probably going to look more like this. Like the 64 gig one is going to be like your younger kids. The parents don't want to spend a whole lot of money on it because they don't know if they're going to fucking tear it to pieces or break it or shit. So they're going to have, that one's going to be for your younger kids.
Also helps keep
Like,
the kids on like some of the more
13 and up.
kid-friendly games instead of maybe going off the high-end
Right.
stuff, which they can't do because it literally won't run it.
Your high-end one going to be more for like actual gamers, like more serious gamers and stuff. And then your middle of the middle tier one, middle of the road is going to be more like your teenagers or your young adults who can't quite afford the bigger, badder one and aren't as serious about it. I assume that's probably going to be more of your demographics for it. There's going to be overlap for sure. There's going to be anomalies for sure. But that's just my assumption for your purchase demographics at least.
Yeah. I think one selling aspect of the Steam Deck is, a lot of it's going to be nostalgia, because Steam has a lot of the older games that they have on their Steam library. So for a lot of people who liked playing like the old Metroid for Game Boy, or the old Pokemon for Game Boy, or some of those other things, now you can go back and play them again as a handheld thing. Whereas currently your options are computer
Except
emulators.
your
That's
Nintendo
about it.
esque games, because I don't think you can get those on Steam yet, right?
Well,
I don't know.
I've heard that the Steam
I'll have a
Deck
quick
is running
look.
a Linux base.
Yes, it is.
And you can put whatever the hell you want on it, including
Emulators. Yep.
There are no Pokemon games on Steam.
Now, interesting thing is because
They're
the Steam
emulators
Deck will have
run,
access to
so
the
you can get on there.
entire Steam software. That includes
Mario.
like the workshop, the marketplace.
Right.
So you could, which also has a built-in browser. So you probably could download an emulator and run stuff like that.
Oh yeah, people are gonna do that. There's
yeah.
no.
It's
there's
gonna
no
happen.
fucking-
I mean,
yeah, they're gonna. fucking do
There's so
that.
much custom content in the marketplace and the workshop stuff anyway.
Right.
Kind of scary. Yeah,
All right, guys.
I get a little afraid of that.
I try to avoid going there unless I'm looking for something specific because that's a rabbit hole, kind of like Reddit. You go in there and you have no idea what you're gonna find.
That's the horrible type of shit that you just don't want to go into, and then you're sitting there going,
You take one look into it and you're like, wait a minute, this is still Steam, right?
"Yeah, we're still on Steam. We're talking about Steam. Yes, we are. We're gonna stop that though right there. Okay, that's yeah. It's just a rabbit hole you don't want to go under. All right, just take our goddamn word for it and don't do it.
Avoid rabbit holes. It usually
You
never
get
ends well.
PTSD, I promise you. You
Sounds
see
like
some
personal
wrong,
experience
you see
there over there,
some
Kinku.
mods, and yeah, I've seen a lot of.
How
lots
much
of
weird shit
screenshots
did you
of-
find for Kingdom Hearts?
That is classified information. I'm not at liberty to talk about, so we're not going there. Not this episode, anyway.
Not this episode.
I do have a little something that I'm going to be talking about as far as plot holes. So I might bring it up there. I don't know.
Go for it. maybe some of the marketplace stuff will fix the plot holes.
I can't roll with that.
God, if only. That would be great. That way I can fucking rest.
No, there is no
Yeah,
resting
yeah.
when it comes to Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
There's only
Well, there's like.
shenanigans.
the-
Oh, dude's back.
Yeah.
Saga getting that.
but- Basically, I think we've gone over everything we can go over for this. We'll probably discuss more in Textra. But
We didn't
who's
go
doing
over
the recap? Wait, what?
Well, we were going to cover what game cloud.
Oh, the
gaming
cloud
or-
aspect.
Yeah, we didn't mention the cloud gaming.
Yeah, actually, yeah, go for that.
Well, for that, well, basically, it's I first heard about it when Video was apparently doing it. Atrocity had, I think, his brother doing it for one of his underpowered PCs, where basically you went on the NVIDIA website and then played games through the website at max
That's
settings.
NVIDIA's Shadow Play, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what he did. And he goes, yeah, that was driving our internet. It'll suck the internet out of you, apparently.
Yeah.
But like,
Huge.
But,
And I would
Huge.
imagine that input
Huge.
latency would be a thing there too.
oh, for sure, dude. Like you'd
Yeah.
probably have to get used to maybe like a second or two of latency, maybe 3. Which to those who haven't actually played a game or played games normally, like casually, like we do, it's a huge difference.
Yeah.
Having
Or
something like anywhere completed.
if you're used to how a lot of gaming used to be, where internet was not nearly as high speed or consistent as it used to be, where
Yeah,
if you
well,
remember gaming
yeah.
with where 100 your lag times were like 100 milliseconds, that was good. When people were
Yeah,
averaging 200.
It's in there. Oh, right. I only
Yeah.
got like a 3-second delay.
Yeah, I only
I
had.
fucking remember my old internet.
It's like
Dude,
my
no,
ping's
no,
only
one time-
150. This is great, guys.
One time we played PUBG and I had like a fucking 2,000 fucking
Oh yeah.
second delay.
You remember that time
Counter-Strike
I had
running a
a
600 ping.
5-second delay? Actually, I think I was playing with
Yes.
you, Redneck. I had that 5-second delay in my internet where like I had killed somebody and then I died because they had actually already killed me. It's just my internet had to catch up.
Until the game, figure this shit out. I don't know what happened, honestly. He
Yeah,
killed
we were
him. he
playing
killed him.
Apex, and I see this guy, and he's looking off over this way, and like I'm looking at him, he's looking this way, and I'm way back here seeing him this way. So I start shooting him, bam, 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 and then he goes down. He just straight dies. And then I'm going to like run up to him to loot him, and I'm dead. And this guy's running up looting my body. I was like, what the just happened?
I mean, I remember playing Counter-Strike
to
Source
look
with a
at
600 plus ping.
I had to
Yes.
look at the damage report and see that he had actually already turned, saw me, started shooting at me. By the time I shot him 2 times, I was dead.
That lag
Yeah,
time.
luckily, my time was when me and dude was basically just running through an empty field trying to get to zone, and I was just like
Oh,
lagging
yeah.
back and forth.
The
I
rubber
couldn't
banding.
get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where it's truly
Bye, dude. I'll try and get to you.
yeah. The game doesn't know what to do. It's CSI Apex at that legend
Right.
but like, yeah, that's basically what cloud gaming is. I figured that the Steam
Everybody
Deck
lags
would-
at that point.
Well, I mean, I figured the Steam Deck would have something like that eventually installed into it. That way,
Perhaps. I would
Hey,
say
you
maybe
know
like
what?
a cloud storage, where if you're running like a single player mode, that would be more realistic, I would think.
Well, yeah. With that cloud gaming too, they have with Nvidia. It's that shadow play.
I think it's
What are you
Shadowplay, yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
pretty
all
sure
your
so.
all your settings are turned to max. You can see that shit as long as you have a decent monitor to screen it.
Yeah.
It uses nothing of your computer almost. Basically, you just load that up.
Just
I would
all
have
your
to
internet usage,
properly
though.
say what cloud gaming is. Did I miss it?
Yeah, it's a storage, like it's basically like a computer or a server or whatever that you have remote access to, where you can play via another server hosting the storage for the game, and then you actually are able to access the game, play it, where you're at,
It's like old
and the
browser
game
games.
is running somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah, like think of it like OneDrive or I don't know, iTunes, or just basically somewhere where you can store your stuff.
Or if
You store your
anybody,
Think of it like a
games.
remote desktop.
Yeah, you
Or-
store your games on a server and then you remotely access it via the internet, and then you can play from that. You don't have to actually install the games onto your PC.
Anywhere in the
To
world.
use-
Yeah,
to use an older
anywhere.
reference, back when we had browser gaming.
Yeah.
That's all it is like you're gaming, everything's on the browser, and you're just connecting through the browser to the game. That's
What it is your
yeah.
game is installed in Texas, but you live in Washington, and your controller wire is 1,500 miles long.
Using their stuff. You're not even using any of your computers, like grabbing anything on your computer. It's all over in Texas.
Sweet, so I can actually go get direct line. Cool. See you guys.
Well, dude, go.
No, your game is installed in Washington.
Damn it.
Fucker.
Dude was consumed by the darkness.
We
Hello,
all do
darkness,
that.
my
And all
old
of a
friend.
sudden,
Well, shit.
who's that? Yeah. All right, cool.
He closed off his camera. I think something's going on at the house.
I'm sure it still says it's on Discord.
Yeah,
You
I
gotta
mean,
put
it's just
something in front of it.
he put the
Oh.
cover over it. I think
Yeah.
cover over it and muted the mic. But dude's doing weird things. Oh well.
Weird things are happening to dude. Okay, let's not jump to conclusions here that says dude's doing it just because he's commonly known for doing it. But
I mean, this is dude we're talking about.
I just said that commonly know that he's known for doing this kind of thing. But...
Oh, his mic's not muted.
Wait.
Don't get creepy now. Kinku, you creeper.
I'm trying to listen.
Don't you shush me,
I'm trying to listen.
stalker.
Stalker, okay, so
Just go check your wiretaps that you've got on him. You'll be fine.
no, I mean,
Everybody knows you got a direct line to his FBI agent.
no. Yes. Need to know. Need to know, soldier.
Except I'm not military, therefore yes.
Oh, hey,
There's
I'm
there
fine.
you go.
dude.
Hey, what's going on, man? You all right?
All right. Yeah, let's wrap it up.
He got attacked by a fake snake.
We were. That happens. That's fine.
So Jordan, you got the recap, right?
No.
But that was your job.
I mean, I
That's
can do it, but it's gonna be trash.
I mean, that's
Well,
fine.
I got you. So basically, well, you want to do the tech item of the week first, Redneck? And
Yeah,
then we'll
I can
get
do
into
that.
this?
I'm just gonna. It's a thing that, since the tech item is something specific to us as individuals, I'm just going with the one that. This is a thing I got a while back. I wasn't sure I was gonna like it, but after using it for a while, because I don't know about y'all, I haven't been running a gaming mouse at all. I've been using just a standard mouse for pretty much everything I do.
You poor bastard.
I mean, if you look at my gaming and you realize I'm using a standard mouse and a 10-year-old keyboard,
Yeah, I got the same one. Look at that.
it's not bad.
E502.
But I got this. It's one of the Asus TUF gaming mouses. It's their M3 ergonomic wired RGB. So the little logo changes colors. I specifically wanted something that had like these little side buttons. A little hard to see if there's two little side buttons. But I didn't want something like Dude's, which
side
has
buttons are
the
very important.
tons of buttons, because that's not a thing I'm used to. Just something simpler, a little easier to, but more options. And just getting used to that, and I love it. I would highly recommend, if you're one of those people who just, even if you're using it for non-gaming applications, upping to a mouse that has side buttons is so much easier, and you can do a lot.
So much
What's
easier.
the
With it.
size on that? Is it like a finger mouse or is it like a palm mouse? Because like this one here.
No,
fits
it's
my
actually
whole
like a full mouse.
Okay.
It's a full-size mouse.
Because some of them are like tinier and like you can get like
no.
half your hand on it.
No, I
But
wanted
this
an
one's like an actual full
Yeah.
palm.
no, I wanted a
Some
mouse that was
Weird.
same as the standard one, but just extra buttons.
Yeah.
And that's what I got, and I was very skeptical on it, but I have to say, I really like it, so it's also
Do you know what the
part
click
of,
rating on it is?
I know it's a 7,000 DPI. As for the click rating, I
Up to
don't-
7,000 or it started out at 7,000?
max DPI is 7,000. I believe it's an adjustable.
Like this crazy
if
thing
you want
goes
extra
from
buttons, then you
50
should,
to
you should get the fucking
Yeah, that's
Ryzen
got like
24.
12 or more buttons. Yeah, no.
That's the one that has like like fucking 12 buttons on the fucking side.
Yeah, it's got like 12
Yeah,
buttons over
yeah,
here. I didn't
yeah,
want
yeah.
it.
That's too
Uh-uh.
You got your
many.
10 key settings over here?
Yeah, no,
you got,
it's
like, you basically got a
Two.
keyboard attached to your mouse.
Literally.
Yeah, no, that
you
was-
have a keyboard on your thumb.
Yeah.
That's how
I like
those,
my stuff simple. I
builders
like-
did in Fortnite. They just
Literally. Like,
No,
and
thank
they
you.
even
No,
touch their main two buttons on top of the mouse. Like,
no.
probably never.
I just wanted
no.
something simple, so it's got the two buttons on the side. It technically has two right here, but I believe these control your DPI settings, so not really buttons you use.
and
So
it changes colors.
and it
That's what
changes
happened in
colors.
Fork Knife. Bullet flies past their head. They go like,
Yep, they just have it right there.
Yeah.
Would you say that why things don't run as well is because they don't have RGB?
That was a running joke for a while. Yeah.
that's it.
The other reason I specifically got this mouse, it was part of Asus's TUF series. I'm someone that if I'm going to get something, I want it to last a long time and be durable. And that's their
Asus
TUF series has a reputation
Bomb-ass.
for lasting a long time. I've had a couple of their stuff before, and it just keeps going. So
Their TUF
that was actually the first time I
games are
replaced a
really good.
mouse in 6 years.
Yes. Oh, I was about to, yes.
The
There's
one
your
before
tough
that
item
was
for
a
your tech item of the week.
yeah. That's my tech item of the week.
Your
Simple and
tough
durable.
Tech item of the week.
Yes, tough tech because it's got to be simple and durable.
Simply
All right,
durable.
just kind of go over everything we talked about.
Got it.
We, of course, the Valve Steam Deck was the focus of our talk this week, and we had first gone over all of the specs for it. Looked at the AMD Zen 2, the RDNA 2 APU GPU that's going to be in it, 16 gigs of RAM, the LPDDR5. 5500 MT, 32-bit quad channel DDR or RAM, so that's it's not going to have memory problems. You got different storages, all kind of fun little knickknacks, ins and outs for it. You can use your keyboard and mouse. You can use your controller if you want. You can hook it up to your monitor, up to a 1080p monitor. And then we looked at what the Switch was able to do with its hardware, and then we kind of speculate on how well the Steam Deck is going to perform when it finally does release its actual consumer production model. And if you're interested in knowing more, we will have links in the description of the video on YouTube and our RSS TekTox feed, and pretty much anywhere else you can find your podcast. It's going to go out everywhere: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon, all kinds of different places. Some I've never even heard of before. Buzzsprout, the hell's that? But anyway, right?
It's one of the places we've got shit at.
Yeah, it's one of the.
Don't think
many
too hard
places
about
we
it.
Have our podcast going, but don't forget to check us out over on YouTube. All of our podcast channels. We do have a website that's also going to be down in the description below. And I will thank you guys so very much for watching. Bye, guys.
Sponsor, not sponsored.
Bye bye.